Today we will be dealing with model questions on reasoning. So it will be useful for your forthcoming exams, whatever may be the exam. It may be RRB, soon ntpc we have, SSC exams you got, banking exams, whatever may be the exam. A considerable part you got reasoning. So there are some parts of this reasoning, various topics. So we try to cover all the topics from this reasoning so that it will be good practice for you. So we will be seeing some model questions, we will be solving them. So please be with us. So we will be going ahead with each and every question. So you will be solving with us. So whenever it is required, please pause it and you can solve, or I will give you some time to solve it. Okay, let us go ahead. So for our first question, so you could see, so immediately after seeing this you can understand this is related to analogy topic of the reasoning. So what is basically analogy? So there is certain relation given between the pair of words, the same relation, so you have to identify that relation. So similar relation you need to identify, based on that relation you need to identify the answer for the second set. Like so it is given for so this is the first set is given. So whatever the relation carried by this should be carried by the next set. So based on that we need to identify this answer. So what do you understand from this? Tree and sapling. It is very basic thing. You got tree is older one, sapling is the budding one. I mean the younger one. The younger form of the first one we is the relation here. So you need to identify the younger one of these ours. So what do you call this younger one of ours? So usually we know general word is this pony usually, but we don't know in some of these words, you know. Directly I give the answer. My answer is this fall. Probably most of you didn't heard this name, that is fall. Even initially, while initially first time I have seen this, so I couldn't recognize the answer. So only the answer I got through is by eliminating the answers. You know, the lamb is related to sheep. Lamb is younger form of sheep. Duckling is younger form of obviously duck. Kitten, it is pertaining to this cat. So younger form of cat. So by checking all these things I could only solve by eliminating these options. I could get into this answer fall, isn't it? So that's how you can get into by elimination method also. Sometimes if you couldn't recognize the words. So younger form of horse is first we need to identify the relation. So how they is related, and analogically we need to find the answer. Okay, so let us check the next question. So again another analogy question. So what is the relation here? So again this is the pair of words we need to check. This is the pair of words we need to check, isn't it? And based on this, whatever the relation carried by this pair of words, so we have to check the relation for the next set. So first set has dt, ddt. So is nothing but abbreviation of some. It has got some expansion, obviously. So capital letters are given initialization. So whatever the initial letters are there, we have taken out and we formed. We group it together. It is called as abbreviation. Okay. So laser, as you know, most of you know what is almost all of you laser. What do you mean by laser? It is also a short form of light amplification by stimulated emission of radiation, isn't it? So it is nothing but just to say that it is a short form of, so every letter has meaning, isn't it? But it can also be called as abbreviation. Generally we follow, usually we go with the usual name abbreviation. So what exactly it is called? So if you speak of DDT, so we are not naming it as a separate word. Suppose if you you could have spoken this, if it is abbreviation, you could have spoken this LASCR, but we are not saying that LASCR, we are saying it as laser. Whatever the short forms, again, which are popular as, which can be named as word, like one more thing is, suppose usually the software courses, one of the soft courses is SAP, but people call it as usually SAP. SAP isn't a word, it is a short form of SAP, isn't it? So likewise we call it as laser, each letter has got name, so it is made into the initials taken and it is popular as a single word. So such names are called as acronyms. Such names are called as acronyms. Usually we name it as we know it as abbreviation, but in particular when that word has got is popular as a single word is called acronym. Okay, so we'll move ahead. So next, our next question is based on another important topic of reasoning, but based on statements and conclusions. It comes under syllogism, isn't it? So syllogism is one topic, and please follow our topics, other sections of our channel. You could see these topics, various topics of reasoning we have already covered. So you could follow those videos, and please subscribe and try to observe what are the sections we tested so far, so that it will be useful for your preparation. So let us solve. Obviously this is under section syllogism. So how to solve this? So first we need to read out these statements, and based on that we will be drawing some Venn diagram. So that is one of the method to solve such problems, isn't it? So based on that we need to conclude, we need to justify whatever the statements are given. So whether we can conclude something, what are the conclusions, are they matching with the our statements given. Okay, so we need to check initially, we need to draw the diagrams for these statements. Diagrammatically we represent. So what are they? All pens are erasers. So how do you represent this? Some pens are available, I'll write like this. Some pens are available. So these all pens are erasers. So within these erasers, pens are available. So isn't this diagram representing the same? All pens are erasers. So it is matching our first statement. So what is the next one? This is done. Next, what is the next one? No erasers are pages. No erasers are pages means it is exclusive set. Okay, so you should not touch this erasers. So somewhere outside we need to draw that. Somewhere here I am drawing that no erasers are pages. So this is related to pages, a set related to pages. Then some pages are papers. So try to observe here, whatever the set we could draw, there are number of possibilities. So unlike the possibilities, we need to check what exactly it could be determined from the given statements. So possibilities may be many things. Suppose, so this could be the possibility, some pages are papers. So some part of this pages could be papers. Okay, so that thing I can draw like this. So this thing I can put like this, paper PA, I am writing it as. So the same paper, if you see the same paper, so this is red color I am representing it now. So is this the, can we also draw like this? This is also one possibility. Another possibility is there. So this is also one possibility, but we are not checking the possibilities. So what exactly we could determine from the statements, we need to stick with that. Okay, so these could be the drawings. So in the other color, so not in this dashed lines, solid lines, whatever we have. So you need to identify only, we need to draw the conclusions from these diagrams. Suppose now check the conclusions with respect to whatever we have drawn with respect to our statements. So what would be the conclusions here? What are the conclusions given? No pages are pens. So where are they? No pages are pens. Is it so? Can we conclude that from our diagrams? No pages are pens. So there is no contact area between pages and pens. It is obvious from this figure that we can conclude the first one, isn't it? The next one is, we can conclude this one. Then all erasers are pens. So try to check this part. All erasers are pens. So where are the erasers? This part, outer circle is the erasers. All erasers are pens. Is it so? So pens is a subset of erasers we have drawn already from the given statement. So the other way it is not possible. In the sense that it is just a possibility, and we cannot determine exactly from this drawings whatever the statements given. So conclusion 2 cannot follow. So what is our answer? If only conclusion 1 follows. Only conclusion 1 is following. So our answer is conclusion 1 follows, isn't it? So let us move with our next one. So this is our next problem in this reasoning. You could see again is similar to the first one or second one. So we could see words in the first and second problems. We had seen those examples. In this, numbers are given. So it is a mixed thing. Numbers are given in analogy problem, isn't it? So there is certain relation between this first set, and based on that relation, we need to apply that relation in the second set to achieve this answer. Okay, to achieve suitable answer for this 12. Okay, so see here. So what is 9 to 99? Easily we could see initially immediately after saying this. So you could think of 9 into 11. But try to check whether the answer is available here. 12 into 11, 132. Is it available? So this approach is wrong. Then again go to another approach. So how can you write this 99 in other terms? Suppose, and based on these answers we need to answer here. What could be the other thing? Suppose if you add 9 plus 9, 18. So 9 times 2 is 18. So let us check if you get that answer. 12 into 2. If you follow that, you should get 24. Have you got that option here? No. So likewise, immediately after saying this, you may not reach the direct answer. So you have got various possibilities, and you need to, within the short time, we need to check the best possibility. Okay. So we need to, in our mind, upon practice, only upon practice you could calculate those things in mind. We need to identify various approaches. So for that, number of problems like this you need to solve. You have to have that approach. So one thing you need to remember here is, so if there is a huge difference between first number and second number like this, okay, there are certain relations like Bodmer's relations, plus, minus, multiplication, division. If there is a sudden change, huge change, so we can also think of the exponential things. Okay, so don't limit your thinking to only multiplication, addition and like that. So you need to think of exponential things. So let us think of exponential things. Let us think of exponential things. So what would be this 9? If I make 9 square, 9 cube like that, exponential things, or if I put 9 can be written as 3 square, so 3 power something. If you write 99 in terms of 3 power something plus something, okay, then the similar approach if you apply to the other set, so if you could reach that answer, one of the answers here, so that is the best possibility here. So you need to check the exponentials. So how can you write? let me put this 99 in terms of exponents of some 9. Suppose I take, so nearest to this 99 is 9 square. So 9 square is 81. So 81 plus, what is the number if you put, you will get 99 here. Suppose, so for 99 to get 81 plus 18, it is obvious here. So how can you write this further? 18 as 9 into 2. So there is some, suddenly you could check, there will be some certain relation found here. Okay, suppose x power y plus x into y, isn't it? So what is that x power y, or simply if I could check, I can also write like this, instead of y, x square plus x into 2. So this is the common term, x square plus x into 2, or x square plus 2x. Replace x here with what is 9 here, x. So here in this next set 12. So replace 9 with 12 in the place of x. So what could be this? Then how can you write if you put this 12 here? 12 square plus 12 into 2. So what is 12 square? 154. Plus what is 12 into 2? 24. So check the number here, 168. So is it available in this? So obviously, so if you found some relation and you could find some answer here, so obviously it will be the answer for you. And make sure that you are following exactly the same method which we applied for first set, and there is no mistake. I mean, accurately we need to do that, we need to apply that particular relation. So you have got 168, whatever the relation, whatever the uh, pattern it is following basically. So pattern followed by this first set, we applied the same pattern for second number, that is 12, and we have got it as 168. So likewise we need more and more practice to reach that, and within a short time we need to solve. For that we need more practice. So let us check the next problem. So let us see this, the simplest one probably. Immediately after seeing this, you people might be starting this, writing this ABCD, putting the numbers. So let us. So although it is a simpler one, so let us, whatever it is in your mind. Okay, let us start with that. So let us give the numbers first. So immediately after seeing that, we could check these numbers with alphabet. So there is certain pattern. Everyone has got their own pattern to write this thing. Let me write in my own way. See, so I am dividing this into two sets. 13 number above, 13 number below. So randomly I'll try to put some numbers here. So whatever, let us, for time being, we will put the numbers related to these things. Okay. So what are they? The P. What is P? So few things you need to you can remember directly. Suppose T. You can these days a popular cricket format is 2020. So T you can directly remember 20. So like that, some few numbers if you remember, based on that we could trace out the other things. Z is obviously 26. We know that. M you need to remember. So where exactly at the half you got 13, and obviously from that you will get you can reach this N 14, then O P 16, then the other numbers. If you see U, so what is U here? Based on T, we could easily answer 21. What is U? 21. So I am just writing the numbers here. 16, U is 21. What is T? Again, T is 20. So just check is it following any pattern here. What is 21 minus? What is the difference between those numbers? So there is only one difference here. there is a 5 difference here, and let us check, is it following the same in this thing. So what is the number of E? Position of E is 5 and position of N is 14 and position of D is 4. D is 4. Just check whether it is following any pattern here. So 14 minus 5, 14 minus 5, what is the difference between these two numbers? First number is 9. What is the difference between 14 and 4? 10. So seemingly it is following certain pattern. Let us check with the other thing. O, what is the position here? O is 15. And what is the position of W? W position is, so 26 less 1, 2, 3. So it is 23. Then L. What is the position of L with respect to M? Is 12. So let us check what is the pattern it is following. So if it has, so this is the difference here is 8 and the difference between 23 and 12 is 11 again. So it is missing, not any regular pattern it is following. So you can easily, so 1 or 2 sets, if you probably you have been wasting time by this approach. Okay, sometimes I advise, not sometimes, most of the times I advise that keep it simple. So first try to think of these questions, whatever the question, reasoning questions given. So just based on the common sense, immediately whatever, don't make it complex. Okay, so whatever you think of in the minimum sense, I mean, so minimum set of expressions you can make it out. So don't make it complex by doing all these things, whatever you know. So these things you get only upon practice again. Suppose if you check, so how simple it is, try to observe the pattern here. Each and every word here is starting with vowel except A. So our answer is A. Try to observe. Arm is starting with A, O, E, these are all vowels. So only the first part is starting with a consonant. So it is obvious that this is the only possible pattern you could observe in this. So unlike, so you don't need to check all these 3 things. Okay, so only first 2 things. So if you could make it that it is not following any certain pattern, so then we need to judge it means very in a simple format. So what could be the simplest way to solve this? So that is based on your practice you will get that approach. So further we will move ahead with another question now. So our next thing. So next question. So next question depends on, immediately after seeing this, so you could easily realize. So what is this problem? I mean, so next question depends on, immediately after seeing this, so you could easily realize. So what is this problem? I mean, which part of reasoning it belongs to now? Which part of reasoning? It is it belongs to logical Venn diagrams. Okay, so some figures are given. So using that figure, we need to identify whatever asked in the question. A common area might be asked, or yeah. So obviously a common area. So what exactly you infer from those figures? If each figure represents something, so based on that attributes given in the problem, we need to identify which portion of these figures together. Okay, we need to trace out that part which exactly resembles what is asked here. Okay, let us trace out. Let us read out the question here. Let us read out the question. What is asked in the following figure? The girls who are athletic, and not disciplined. Try to read it carefully. Not disciplined are indicated by which number? Okay, so we have got different regions here upon this merging of various symbols. Each symbol representing, like triangle represents boys, rectangle represents girls, circle represents disciplined, and a square represents being athletic. Okay, So in this, you need to identify the area in which the girls who are athletic and not disciplined, and this indicates that girls indicate rectangle. So we need to identify the area which is common between this. Girls means rectangle, athletic means square, and not disciplined. You need to identify the common area between this rectangle and square. So where there is no area common for this discipline, because they are not disciplined given. Okay, so you should not find, we should not give this circle area into this answer. So only the only the common area between this rectangle and square will be our answer. Let us check if it is so. So what is the area you could see? So this is the rectangle. So where you could find means it is related to girls. Then this is the square which we are indicating with respect to being athletic, and obviously we need to remove the areas. So where this delta or triangle represents boys, obviously the mutually exclusive things, girls and boys. So we need to remove the areas which come under, so which are covered by this triangle and circle. So what are they? What are those areas here? What are those areas? Try to identify within these regions. So this is that part. So we need to make it obsolete here. And another part is the part within the intersection of this rectangle and square. So we have got some part related to circle also. So where is that? We have removed that circle part anyway. The part which is belong to this triangle that represent boys, we need to remove that one also. So where is that part? This part. Okay. So what is the common area here? Which is the common area between this rectangle and square? So obviously initially this part. Now later on, so we have removed this part. We have removed this part. So what is the answer here? What is the only remaining number here which determines, which means, which give you the exact number of the girls who are not disciplined and athletic, isn't it? The number is 13. So our answer is C, 13, isn't it? So this is how you find this logical. It is only logical Venn diagrams. These are only just one part, one class of this kind of problems, logical Venn diagrams. Actually, logical Venn diagrams, immediately after I said the name, probably you might have thought of those circles. So the circles which are coming outside and inside, whatever the circles, diagrams, Venn diagrams, you usually immediately think of those circles only. But it comes under, means it is also another way of solving. Not way, another class of that particular logical reasoning part, isn't it? So let us see the next problem. Yeah, so this is again another probably simpler one, but it takes time, isn't it? So every problem takes time, but it always depends on your presence of mind here. Okay, so and also based on your practice. So only upon practice, if you see, you can easily realize. So what are the suppose some, we could call some tips or something tricks. In fact, so what exactly, how to eliminate few things, how to eliminate few options, and how you could apply a certain thing here, means how could you apply logically, apply some logic there. Immediately seeing this set of numbers, that thing, you could understand. So what could be, which sign could be kept first. Okay, so let us see. First we try to read out the problem. What is given? Select the correct combination of mathematical signs to replace asterisk sign and to balance the given equation. So in this particular given equation, everywhere there is some mathematical operation should be replaced with this asterisk in between these numbers, such that it will form an appropriate equation. Okay. So let us try to think that. Okay, so what could be? Uh, first thing you need to observe here is just avoid. Whenever you require, you can pause it and try to check the answer. Whenever these things are given, first you need to observe some first things are multiplication and division. Multiplication and division, try to observe them. So have you got any decimal points here? No. So if you apply somewhere this division, obviously you need to get some what you call so rational numbers you need to get. Okay, so some whole numbers you need to get here. Like suppose if you put division here 15 by 24. Okay, so you will get fraction again. Okay, some whole number you need to get. 15 by 24 you will get fraction. Suppose if you put division here, or else don't check all those things. Try to check in these things wherever division is there. So try to check whichever options can be eliminated from this. Suppose division is available here. Is it applicable here? 24 by 3 is suitable, good. So this is also suitable. Then division here 6 divided by 17. So obviously we should not go with this option basically. 6 divided by 17. So we can easily eliminate that option. Then we don't have any division here. And just check here. So if you use this multiplication, so whenever then we'll move to multiplication. So if multiplication is used, so obvious that the number will increase a lot. I mean it is like an exponential increase. Okay, so suppose if you check this multiplication here 24 by 3, 24 by 3, so obviously it will become 72. So nowhere other multiplication is given. So suppose if other multiplication is given and subtraction is given, there is a chance of getting that number to be reduced. So there is no provision here, though no other multiplication. Obviously we could easily realize that. So this is also option which can be eliminated. Okay, so only think of these two. So almost same here. So we can understand equal to is same here. Division is at the same position. Only we need to check minus and plus here. So we need not worry about this part now. So we need to only check this part where you could apply these three operations such that it will give you is equal to is this star here. This part now implies is equal to 17. So whatever the mathematical operation you do here which will result in 17. Okay, so like that you need to do. Suppose apply this minus 15 minus 24 divided by 3, and please don't do as it is whatever the things are given, don't apply that again, then apply the next one. So first try to replace all the symbols, then only try to solve. Okay, because always we need to follow this BODMAS rule. So which operation comes first, that is essential here. Okay, for that purpose don't straight away apply this mathematical operation. Okay, we need to apply first replace all the symbols, then operate. Suppose here we are now limited to calculating this thing which must be equal to 17. So this must be equal to, suppose first one if I am trying 15 minus 24 divided by 6 must be equal to 17. Anyway this part we will be getting from this, sorry, one part is left over here. 24 divided by 3, then 24 divided by 3, then here you will get plus 6 must be equal to 17. So this part, anyway the other part if you do mathematical operation you should get this answer. So obviously based on this BODMAS rule, first which operation you need to do? This thing. Okay, so first we need to solve this. 15 minus 24 by 3 is 8 plus 6. Are we getting the answer here? Check. 15 minus 8 is 7, 7 plus 6 is 13. So this can be eliminated. So our answer is B. Our answer is B. You need not check it again. So if you want to check again for assurance, obviously the others are eliminated. The only thing we are left with this one. Our answer will be obviously B. So let us check if you need it. So instead of, suppose 15, so what could be the sign? 15 plus 24 divided by 3, next sign is minus 6 must be equal to 7. This part must be ensured here. So let us check. Again, first operation we need to do is 24 by 3. That is 24 divided by 3 is 8, here minus 6. So just check 15 plus 8, 23, 23 minus 6 is equal to 17. So it is obviously the option is B. Okay. So let us go ahead. Obviously, you can understand here how to eliminate few things upon preparation, upon your practice. You could understand. So how this variation is there? Where exactly? As I told you, few things. If multiplication is used, the number will increase suddenly. I mean, there is a huge increase in number. So whether there are other suitable mathematical operations here which could reduce that number. If you don't find that, just eliminate that option. And wherever division symbol is there, so if it is exactly divisible, all are whole numbers here. If it is exactly divisible only, then only such positions, if you could apply this division, please keep those options. Otherwise, eliminate such options. Okay. So let us move with another problem. So our next problem, again another important part of this reasoning. Even we have been updating the videos related to this directions also. Soon we will be doing other topics of this reasoning also. So please find our videos related to this directions also. Next, so obvious that it is related to directions problem, because based on this some terms here, north, whatever. So immediately after finding that, you could realize that it belongs to this directions problem. Now, so what is given here? Rajiv went 3 kilometers to the north direction. First thing you need to, so immediately after realizing which part of the reasoning it belongs to, so you need to try to put the things clear that, so what exactly required for that to solve that particular problem. So first of all, we need to identify the directions here. So let us put randomly, aside the directions like this. Let us keep it simple initially. So let us keep it simple initially. So based on this direction, we will start this problem. Just read out the problem. Rajiv went 3 kilometers to the north direction and he turned left and walked 2 kilometers. He then turned, a typical problem. So based on these turnings, we need to identify the probably the distance or probably the direction will be asked in such problems, directions problems. So let us see what is asked. How far from this starting point? Walked 3 kilometers. After that, he returned left and walked 3 kilometers. Now, how far from his start from? So, how far is from his starting point? Okay, so we need to find this. How far in the sense the distance it is asked. So, for that, try to draw the directions, the path of that movement of that person, that is Rajiv, how he is moving. So, initially 3 kilometers to the north direction. So, north direction he moved 3 kilometers. 3 kilometers. Then, and he turned left. So, he is facing in this direction now. So, he turned left. Left and moved to and walked 2 kilometers. So, he turned left and walked till 2 kilometers. Now, he then turned left again. So, now he is facing like this. Now, you have to turn. He is taking left turn. So, again this is left turn. So, he walked 3 kilometers. After moving this left side, he walked 3 kilometers. Again 3 kilometers. Then after that he turned left. Again he is facing in this direction. Now again he turned left in the sense this direction. So he is coming in this way. So he turned left. So he turned left and moved 3 kilometers. So try to observe here, 3 kilometers could be going beyond this starting point. So this is total is 3, and you could observe that the pattern, the path in which Rajiv is moving is forming a rectangle here, and he has passed this rectangle beyond this starting point by 1 kilometer, because this distance will be exactly opposite of this 2 kilometers. So obviously this is 2 kilometers, and he has passed this starting point beyond by 1 kilometer. So this is our answer. So this is the final point, this is the starting point. So what is the distance here between these two? This is 1 kilometer. So our answer is 1 kilometer. Suppose in such problems you may face, anyway distance is asked here. So if it is asked in which direction the Rajiv is facing now, or in which direction he is facing, or he started towards north, now he has moved towards, in which direction he is facing, east direction. So here he is, this is the final point, so the final point is towards east. If the direction is asked, you need to answer in such a way. Okay, let us move ahead with the next one. So sometimes, as I already told you earlier, so you need to keep the problem simple initially. Okay, so immediately after seeing such letters, they are not forming any words here. Even if you jumble them, rearrange the letters, they are not forming any words. Obviously we need to check the numbers. So whatever the numbers initially we made out, let us check with them. So let us check with those. Numbers related to, means based on the position of various letters here. Okay, so let us see. So letter D is 4. This is 4. I, where is I here? So this could be 5 plus something. This is 9. I is 9. J is 10. Then I is 9. Then what is N here? N will be, this is 14. And what is S here? Position of S is 19. Just check out. Initially, just try to take any one combination or one option and try to check out if it is following any pattern. So what is the difference between these two? Is 5. And what is the difference between I and N? Again 5. So what is the difference between N and S? 14 minus 19, that is 5 positions. So each letter is 5 positions ahead. Suppose I is ahead of 5 positions than D. N is ahead of I position by 5 times. So like that, so each combination has a position difference of 5. So similarly, try to check with the other option. Other option is M. M is 13. R is 16, 17, 18 here. X is 24. X is 24. B is 2. B is 2. So now try to check the difference here, 13 and 18. Obviously it is giving 5. The difference is 5. Between 18 and 24. Obviously it is 6. Now, so it is the point here. So it is deviating from the first one. So just check another one such that we can go ahead with that. This could be the wrong answer. Okay, just go ahead with other options here. Suppose here B is 2, G is 7, G is 7, L is 12, and Q is 17. Just check the difference here. 2 and 7 is 5. Difference between 2 and 7 is 5. Difference between 7 and 12 is 5. Then again difference between 12 and 7 is 5. So we can directly straight away give the answer. This is the odd one. Okay, this is the odd one. Because the same pattern, the first one is following, also this third one is also following the same pattern as the first one, only deviating thing is third one, second one, that is MRXP. So it is obvious. So most of the problems, if you could solve, we can easily stop solving at this junction, because based on your practice. It is obvious. So if it is two are following this, the other could be obviously following that. Let us check if it is following or not. Let us see. A position is 1, F position is 6, then K position is, you could see here, 11, then P position is 16. Identify the difference here. This is 5. Difference between 1 and 6. Then difference between 6 and 11 is again 5. Difference between 11 and 16 is again 5. So it is in such a way, based on your practice, you can immediately first you need to get to identify what could be the pattern it is following, then the calculation part, what could be the difference or how the pattern it is making out here. Okay, so this is how you solve this. So let us find the solution for next one. Just check this. So again, what could be the number of letters? Actually, the set of letters given here. So what is asked here? Just read out the problem. Which one set of letters when sequentially? Which one set of letters when sequentially placed at the gaps? Okay. So each are this is set of letters. A is different. B, C are all different letters, not together. Separately, we need to fill the spaces here, such that it will give you an appropriate letter series. Okay. So suppose. So how to check with that? So just check. So what is the change in this? So we could see more A's in this. Okay. Just try to check out what is falling before A and after A here. Okay. There is a common pattern here. If you could see double A. So there is a repetition here. Double A. So just check out before and after that. Okay. So double A before, you have got BC here. So if you put B here, suppose I am placing B here. So it is following certain pattern. So just try to check out with that similarity. I mean with that pattern, with that thing in mind. Before BC, you have got double A. So if you could place A here, are we getting that same pattern, that AA BC, again AA BC, and if it is following AA, so what could be these two spaces again? It could be BC. It could be BC. So could you realize any other option here? Any other option? So only upon practice, so you could means these problems, such questions. So you could solve easily only through practice. So please keep practicing such things. Means identifying a valid order here. So you could in mind only you need to judge. So what could be the pattern here? So here this could be the pattern we found. Just now check whether that the set of letters is available in this. If it is available based on your judgment, so your judgment is 100% right, and that could be the definite answer here. So let us see A, B, B, C. So this is the option. This is the option. So just for time being, so let us see. In exam, you need not do that. You should be relying on your judgment here, your answer. So you can go ahead with another question. But let us see. So if you put A, B, C, C here, so what you get here? A, B, C, A. Next letter is B, C, A. And till this part it is good. A, B, C. And what could be the next one? It should be BC. Immediately you think that. I mean, even if you are not going with the approach I made here, So if you are directly going with putting this option in this and checking, so there also you could find that pattern basically. So by applying this first option only, you could trace out this answer initially. Let us check. So if you are applying this first option, AABC you got, finally two letters are CC is there. So it is missing that pattern here. So already two times it is repeating here and you are missing out that pattern. So obviously from this pattern you could observe that what should be the replacement for this CC should be BC. Okay, just try to identify the option other than this such that it will be replaced this C with B. So obviously this is the answer. Okay, like that also you could trace out fastly. So anyway, so whatever the question you take up, try to answer it within no time. I mean in short time. Okay, so that is our aim basically. That depends on our practice and also sometimes mostly this presence of mind. Then let's move ahead with another question. Let us see another analogy problem. I mean another analogy reasoning question like so first we need to identify initial pair of words are given here anyway. So how they are related and similar relation we need to identify with the other set. Means that could be the answer. So one option will best fit such that it will be related in the same way as the first set. It is obvious we have seen. So just identify sometimes meanings, literal meanings we must know the meanings also. This verbal analogy is very important. Like so suppose breeze, what is the meaning of breeze? And within no time. So if you know the meanings, so this such kind of questions can be answered within seconds in fact, isn't it? So only when you don't know the meaning and we'll try to what you call we assume we just uh, try our hand. I mean whenever you have this negative marking, it is better not assume the things. So if you don't have the negative marking, people keep on thinking and just based on the assumption, they'll put some random put on random thoughts and just keep on wasting the time. So if you really don't know the meanings of them, okay, try to skip this. I mean you can put it for a later time. Okay, so if you are well versed with this meanings and various things, if you could easily identify the relation with it should be solved actually within seconds. If you cannot solve within seconds, just go ahead with other questions. Okay, so like next breeze and cyclone. So just think of breeze. Breeze could be a, uh, a pleasant wind, means of smaller scale. Suppose cyclone is bigger scale of breeze. In fact, wilder scale. I mean cyclone gives some damage. Actually, cyclone does some damage, whereas breeze gives you some pleasure. I mean a breeze is a gentle wind, whereas the cyclone I can call it as a wild wind. Okay, similarly drizzle will not do any harm to you, isn't it? So you can easily move while it is drizzling outside. Drizzling is a very small amount of rain. Okay, large scale of this rain, obviously you can once you realize what is drizzle, if you know the meanings, so you can straight away go to this option, isn't it? The only problem is if you don't find the exact meaning and exact relation, you will be faltering here. Okay, so this drizzle, further drizzle, obviously the greater form is it should contain this rain, heavy raining heavily, that is downpour. Breeze, wind means a shorter scale. The huge scale which is keep on damaging is cyclone. Suppose again this flood and storm. Flood and storm also including what you call this water. Okay, flood is again on the earth, whatever overflowing of this water which could not be related to this drizzle, which will not be falling on this relation as this is related. We found the relation, that is small wind, pleasant wind and wilder wind. Here again storm. Storm is a little different. Storm is nothing but a combination of both heavy winds and this heavy rains also. I mean both wind and water together. So it is somewhat different. Not exactly the way these two are related. We cannot relate this drizzle to storm. But drizzle can be related to this larger scale of breeze is cyclone, as larger scale of drizzle is downpour. Okay, so this could be the answer for this. We will go ahead with next one. So let us see again. So we got into calendar problems now. Okay, we need to be very careful here. Sometimes immediately after seeing this, so we will be intimidated like so how exactly, whether it takes more time like that we think. Suppose if you could judge, so what should be the, I mean path you should follow. I mean your choice of calculation, like you need to minimize the calculation part here. Okay, so for that you need to have some basics here. Okay, so please go through the basics. Upon practice you can easily solve these problems. Okay, so let us see how to solve this. So in my way I'll present this. uh, let us read out. In a particular month the Sundays fall on 4th, 11th, 18th and 25th respectively. So if the first day of that month is Thursday, what will be the last day of the month? So it is nowhere mentioned that month could be. So immediately you might be getting in mind that which month it could be, because some month, some few months you have 31 days, few months you have got 30 days, isn't it? So it could be February also, which could be that year is also not mentioned. So it could be 28 days or 29 days, and based on the options we need to identify that answer. Suppose the only thing in this, you need not do greater calculations, only one point if you could identify here, so easily we can solve this. Okay, so you could identify a pattern here. For every 7 days the same weekday will be repeating. That basic thing we know. Okay, after completing this week, again the week starts with that day. So there will be 7 days difference here. 4 plus 7, 11th day will be again Sunday. So 18th, 25th, like that. So one other clue is given here. The first day of the month is Thursday. First day of the month is Thursday. So you can utilize this part or you can utilize only this part. You need to identify what we need to do, what will be the last day of the month we need to identify. So in general, take the case. In general, we identify a month with 30 days. So we need to generalize, since it is general question is given here. We need to generalize that a month is having 30 days. So in that 30 days, 25th is Sunday. So 25 plus 5. So after Sunday, 5th day, what you get? So that is nothing but our answer. As simple as that. So you need not worry about whatever the data here. So some redundant data is given here. Or else if a first, that is one way. So 25th is Sunday. So what will be 30th? What will be 30th? So difference is 5, means after Sunday 5th day. So what could be the 5th day after Sunday is Friday. So Friday could be our answer, isn't it? It can be solved so easily. The other way, if you are at that point of particular I mean exam, during exam you got another perception, like your approach is through this Thursday. So like Thursday is first is Thursday. You could say what could be the, like similarly, like this number of Saturdays, Sundays he has given in this question. So you could realize that after 4 weeks, so minimum number of a day in a month could be sometimes it could be 3, sometimes most of the times it will be 4. Suppose Thursday. So after how many days the Thursday will be repeated? Obviously after 28 days, isn't it? So after finishing 4 days, means 29th day of 4 weeks later. So 4 weeks later, what will be the date? 29th. 29th will be again, that is 1 plus 28, 4 weeks. 29th will be again Thursday. So what will be 30th day? So obviously Friday. So if at all, if your perception is like based on this Thursday, if you are solving, this is also easily it can be solved. Either ways, the answer is Friday here. So sometimes you may go with that assumption that even the month can be included with this 31 days. So the answer could be Saturday also, but no option is given Saturday. We need not worry about that. Friday is our answer because we need to generalize this thing. This month, usually we consider a month to be of 30 days. Okay, so let us move ahead with next one. Let us see this next problem. So it is obvious from this that this is a ranking problem, or which falls under this category, that seating arrangement, similar kind of problem. So what is given? Let us read out the problem first. In a class, Sunil is 6th from the top and Hardik is 18th from the bottom. Manish is 14 ranks below Sunil and 15 ranks above Hardik. How many students are there in the class? So it's a relatively easy problem, obviously, by reading this. So just the presence of mind will solve it. So you need to be faster with such problems to save time for other problems also. So reasoning is one such thing. So if you solve them fastly, so you could put some time, more time on aptitude. So aptitude requires more time, isn't it? So reasoning as soon as possible, I mean, you need to solve the questions as quickly as possible. So let us solve this. So within no time you need to solve this. So Sunil is, so from the top he is at 6th position, Sunil. Then and Hardik is 18th from the bottom. So somewhere at 18th position is Hardik, but from the bottom. Then Manish is 14 ranks below Sunil. So 14 ranks below Sunil, that is plus 14, which will be at 20th position is Manish, isn't it? Then and 15 ranks above Hardik. So whatever the position you are stating here, that is Manish is 14 ranks below Sunil and 15 ranks above Hardik. So Hardik is here, who is 18th from the bottom. Again from the top you see, or from this position, whatever the Hardik holds here, so 15 ranks above the position is Manish. So obvious that, so 18th position from the bottom is equal to from top, what could be the position? This 20th position of Manish plus the 15th position, I mean 15 ranks difference between Hardik and Manish. So from bottom 18th position Hardik, from top what is the position? 35th. So it is obvious from the given information. So it is obvious that what could be the total number of students. So you need to, there is a common thing here. So 35th position and 18th position from the bottom are same. So we need to exclude that number. So 35 plus, so excluding this number which is already included in this 35, what could be the remaining number? So from bottom 18th position means from bottom after reaching this 17 numbers we could reach this 18th position. So we have got 18 minus 1, or simply we can keep 17. So 35 plus 17 is 52. So total number of students in a class is 52, isn't it? So although while solving it, explaining it might take some time, but within no time, within seconds you could solve this properly, isn't it? So we'll move ahead with our next one. Let us see another analogy question here. So what is given? So identify this initial pair, then identify the similar relation in the next pair to find the appropriate pair for this, for book. So we could see constitution amendment. So these general terms you should have this idea. Obviously, almost all people will have this idea of this constitution and amendment. So what is amendment? Constitution is already written somewhere during the independence. They have written after independence. Constitution has been written and it came into force in 1950. We all know. We celebrate Republic Day related to that. And whatever the constitution made initially, so we have been updating ourselves and keep on changing wherever necessary changes have been put into constitution. Those are called as amendments, isn't it? So these amendments are clearly mentioned in the constitution at the end. So similarly, a book has got after publishing, they'll check. So publishers could check that some these errors might crept in that book, so that whatever the sheet they provide, the list of errors which are crept in the book they provide is particularly called as errata. Is particularly called as errata. I need not find, because if you know the exact meaning of what is the relation here, whatever the changes made in the constitution, those sections and all those are called amendments. So we need to update this book. We need to represent those changes to be made, so that that list is provided by errata. So unlike the other things obviously here, if you don't know exact relation here, you could identify amendment. Change in that whatever particular thing. So whether these contents, preface, acknowledgement, are they providing any changes? You all know these basic things of a book. Contents, whatever you have in the book is the contents. Amendment is not a the constitution contents. So contents in the constitution could be what are the parts and what are the articles you have in the constitution is that thing, contents. Preface. So preface, you have the introduction to that book, isn't it? What is included, what made that author to write that book, whatever. So all those are content, preface, and acknowledgement. Acknowledgement is so we author acknowledges someone. So in helping writing this book or whatever, these things definitely not fall under this relation. So obviously these are not our answers. By excluding those terms also we can easily answer. So because I gave this approach because you don't usually see this errata word. So this is how you approach the other way, isn't it? So let us move ahead with another one. Yeah. So this is again this is related to coding and decoding, isn't it? Coding and decoding. So how do you approach this? Again, you need to have, you just think of immediately after seeing such things, you think of writing this ABCD and putting the positions, giving the numbers to ABCD, those alphabet, isn't it? So unlike that, so as I already told you, you need to keep it simple initially. Always first keep the analysis simple. So let's see. So let's find out the relation initially between these two. M is N, I is J. So initially, first seeing only two letters, we could observe that the after letter of this letters is coming here. That is M. After M you have N. You got that. After I you got J. You got here. Then N. Here it is missing the pattern. M N. So N is after that, but we could see the jumbling of means the swapping of these things. Then again try to follow. So go ahead and follow I followed by J, then M followed by N, U again after letter is V. So M then followed by J. The thing is, the pattern it follows is only third letter. It depends on third letter. So it is obvious that the answer could not be the problem. Whatever they give, question may not be that simple. There might be some twist like this. So we need to worry about the third letter. So all other letters are uh, shifted one place ahead. Only the third letter has to be shifted in reverse order. Okay, shifted back. Okay, so the other letters must be shifted forward. So try to identify this third letter P. Okay, so all other letters just try to just write down here. After A you get B, after P you get Q, and for third letter before letter we need to write. So what you get here? O, O, P, Q, R, S. So O, then after L, M, E, F, S, T. So identify this option. So which is the option? Second option is our answer. So it is as simple as that. Let us move ahead with another one. Yeah. So missing objects, missing numbers, or missing letters, or missing words. You need to identify from a given set of any pattern or any series. We need to identify that. So immediately after seeing this, you could see there is no huge change. So in this part at least, there is no huge change between the numbers. So obviously there must be some addition or subtraction operations might have done in this. Okay, we think like that. Then if you could see suddenly there is a sudden change in these numbers. So huge change is there, 16, 64 like that. What could be the pattern then? There must be some, obviously there must be some exponential terms must be included, or some multiplication must be there, isn't it? So for that thing, so this way, if you approach horizontally, if you approach, it is obvious that it will not work out here. Let us see vertically. So suppose if 16, 8, so if you add up, it is not making 16. Here also adding up is not making any thing here. So suppose if you multiply, so 8 3s 24, 24 ones, it is also not working here. So what could be, suppose there is some relation between this 8 and 16. Let us find out. 8 2s 16. So it could be like 8 minus 8 plus, or 8 into this 3 minus 1. Let us write like that. That could be equal to 16. So let us see this another line is column is following the same rule. If it is so, no, because 8 and 16 has a relation, 10 and 64 doesn't have any relation. Then how to use this? How to solve this actually? Suppose if you see one pattern you can observe, then we can observe this pattern in this. So try to observe here, some squares are given here. You can easily write this as 4 square, 8 square. It could be, answer could be, means just assumption. So we are making some assumption here. Answer could be either 36 or 49. We need to identify one among them. Okay, because the other things are not working out here. We couldn't find any pattern in the other things. So let us see if you could make 4 square out of these three numbers. How can we make that? So 8, we need to remove 4 from that. So what will make this 4? 3 plus 1 will make that 4. So let us see that. 8 minus 3 plus 1, if you square this, so this will give you 4 basically. So 4 square is 16. So try to put that pattern for the next set. So how can I write this middle term 10 minus the sum of the other two terms, 1 plus 1 whole square. So it is obvious that 10 minus 2, 8 square is 64. So it is following this pattern. You could observe that it is following this pattern. And please, it is obvious from this thing that only upon practice, so you could reach this approach. I mean, initially you could get many ideas like that. Okay, that whatever the practice you put is proportional to the ideas you get. So it is following the same pattern. Obviously, we apply this pattern to the third set. So it obviously 13 minus middle term minus sum of the other two terms whole square. So it is 13 minus 6 plus 1, 7. 13 minus 7 is 6. So 6 square. 6 square is 36. Our answer is B, isn't it? So let us move ahead with another one. So we will see another problem, again another question related to this missing number or missing word, that kind of problem. So we have missing number problem. So let's see. So it sometimes what happens is these kind of problems will waste your time. So again the same approach, let us keep it simple. Okay, let's see first, because these numbers are simple numbers, there is no sudden change in numbers, lest we apply only plus or minus or division. Even division also there is sudden change, means there is a decrease in numbers, we need to apply the division. Otherwise just try to apply initially this addition or subtraction here. Okay, let us check if it is following that. So what is the difference between 35 and 47? Is 12. So what is the relation here? 12 plus 10, you are getting 22. So we could get this. Then 67 minus 33 is 44. So similar pattern, similar thing if you follow here also. So this could be, sorry, so this is 34. So the difference between 67 and 33 is 34. So if you follow this pattern, that is plus 10, if you add, you will get 44 as the answer. Okay, so you have got option here. Let us check. So if it is, so this anyway straight away you got this option, but let us check if there is any other possibility. So suppose if we find the difference here, 35 minus 22, so it will be 13. So can you find, identify any relation here with this 13? Suppose 13 fours, it doesn't work out. 13 fours minus 5 you have to do. Suppose for that you need the information of this. You don't have the information. So only thing we could do is, so any mathematical operation between this set and this set. Okay, that we did here. So suppose if for the same number, suppose we have done difference, suppose add them. What you get here? 35 plus 47. How much is 35 plus 47? Is 82. If you are doing addition. So 67 plus 33 is 100. So how 82 is related to 22? We cannot identify any particular relation here. So 100 is here. So can you identify any relation among these numbers to 100? Let us suppose we have got the 22 between 82 and 22, difference is 60. So identify one number, so which give you the difference 60. You don't have that number. Suppose if you add this 82 plus 22, you will get 104. You get 104. Suppose if you add that even addition also, 100 plus something will not give you 104. So only thing is which we got straight away in the first step, that is the answer, that is 44, isn't it? So one thing is very important, that you need to be sure of your answer also. So whatever you get, so sometimes within seconds you will be, within no time, few seconds you will get the answer. So people will means get that doubt that so is it real. So in such cases you need to believe, because based on your practice you got that, not that easy. So only through practice you got that answer. You need to believe that and you need to go ahead with next problem. So all the way, I mean finally what we require, we need to save the time. So please we'll check next one now. See, so another important one. So although it might take it seems to be taking some time, but only thing is you how you comprehend this kind of problems is very important, because the answer is very simple, but reading it and comprehending it will take a bit time. Okay, so for such problems, obviously any problem in the reasoning practice will give you valid fruits in this examination. So only upon thorough practice, so you could get that immediate ideas in the examination. See here, so what is asked? How many sevens are there in the following sequence? In the sequence, obviously we could identify immediately how many sevens. Seven, about sevens he is asking. First locate the sevens. So At the time being, with this particular first sentence, we have 4 sevens, which are immediately preceded by, preceded means before this number, whatever the number you have must be by the even number. So identify what are the locations. This is invalid, this is okay valid, this is invalid, this is okay valid. So you need to check with this two numbers. We need to check with this two numbers which is satisfying this even number condition. So one more condition is given that but not immediately followed by odd number. So the other way, so this whole sentence indicate that must be followed by, the other way if you put must be followed by even number, isn't it? This whole sentence means that, that is but not immediately followed by odd number, in the sense it must be immediately followed by even number. So where it is following this even number? So here it is odd, so this can be again eliminated. Our answer is only one remains here. So obviously it is followed by even number. So our option is 1. Only 1 7 satisfies whatever the condition it is given here, isn't it? So it could be as simple as this also, and you should never waste time on such things. In the sense, anyway, every person, every candidate can solve this problem, but only thing is the faster you do, the better you can answer. You can save time for the other sections which requires more time, like aptitude. Okay. Let us go ahead with another one. Let's see. So immediately after saying this, you could be worried that whether you need to do multiplications here, but relatively simple. So as it seems to be here, the problem is very simple here. If you see this, some equations are solved on the basis of a certain system. Solved on the basis of a certain system. Okay, it need not be exactly multiplying these things. So they have followed some pattern and identified this equation and particular system. Find out the correct answer for the unsolved equation. So this unsolved equation also must follow the same basis, same system on which these two are based. Okay, identify the equation on that basis. So just check. Suppose this is 783. Immediately you see it is obvious that the same letters are repeated in this, but the order is changing. 8 you got, 7 you got, 3 you got. And just check if it is so, just check the other number also whether it is following the same pattern here. Yeah, so this only this first and second letters are changing their positions here. The last letters remain same. 3 comes here, 4 comes here. Only this first two letters are changing their position, exchanging their positions. So it is as simple as that. You can easily answer that 7, 8, 9 is the answer. So some questions could be as simple as this. Okay, so further the simpler questions you should not make your mind more complex. So let us initially keep the problems simple. Okay, keep your ideas simple. So let us go ahead with our next question. Yeah, so let us read out this problem. It is not again an analogy problem. It is a more of this series kind of problem. 3 of the following 4 number pairs are alike in a certain way and one is different. So it is obviously odd one out problem. So find odd one out. So one among these 4 is not following the pattern which the other 3 are following. Okay. So let us see. So let us keep it simple always, as usual we do. Let us find the difference or summation. Suppose if you are immediately in your mind, if you are getting addition, so what will be the addition of these two? And you should not do this because you have got this symbol. You should not do this division. Actually here you are not finding the ratio. It is nowhere it is asked to find the ratio. We need to, there is certain relation between these two, we need to identify that. Suppose if you are doing the summation, what is the number here? 88, 78 plus 15, it is 93. Summation here 79 plus 20, that is 99. 88 plus 16, 104. 69 plus 15, so how much is this? 84. Are they following any pattern here? So difference is 6, difference is 5 and difference is 20. So it is this addition is not valid. Just go with subtraction now. Subtraction is 78 minus 15. If you do, what do you get? 63. And 79 minus 20 you will get 59. Then 88 minus 16 you will get 72. Then 69 minus 15. 69 minus 15 is 54. Just check, are they following any relation here? Okay. So except this 49, 59 could be a prime number, isn't it? 59 is a prime number. The other numbers, if you see, they are following certain pattern here. 6 nines, 9 times 6, then this is 8 times of 9, and this is 6 times of, sorry, this is 7 times of 9, this is 6 times of 9. So what is here? This is 7 times of 9, 8 times of 9 and 6 times of 9. So our answer will be, this is odd one here which is not following this pattern. So our answer is this. Let us see our next one. So this is again a problem which is we need to find the mirror image. Okay, so this is also an important part of reasoning, and not only in this RRB, SSC, and more exams like you could see in this AFCAT, the other exams also. Reasoning is very important. The AFCAT and other defense examinations, you could see this is considerable part you get related to this thing, isn't it? So what could be the mirror image of this? So you need not check each and everything in this mirror image. So you know, how do you see this? Your left part is observed as the right part, and how the mirror image you can see. Even if you immediately want to check mirror image, you could see. So let's talk about the exam. Okay, so not outside. Outside you could see in your camera flipping this front side camera. You can see the mirror image. But let us see examination point of view. So how could be the mirror image observed? Okay, mirror image, immediately if you get that question, first you need to think that the sides will be changed. Whatever you find it on right will be placed on left, isn't it? Suppose, let us think of this small thing here. Let us think of this small thing. So whatever the point, if I take the tip of this, observe this. So that it will be falling. Suppose it is this will be the reference line. If you are making with this reference line, it is on the leftmost part. So that tip will be forming on rightmost part. So that tip, can I draw like this? So earlier it is like this. Now mirror image, this tip will be changing its location, isn't it? So left side part will become right side part. So that tip will be changing its position like this. So this will be becoming like this. Now similarly, if you observe this one, a dollar sign. So obviously this simple S you take, how the mirror image of S will be? This will be the mirror image of S. So try to first identify these symbols in this among these options. So what could be the, just try to eliminate the options which could not satisfy these things. So it is obvious that this is valid but this is not valid, so it can be eliminated. Second one, this is valid and this is also valid, let us keep it now. Even see here, this is not valid, even this is not valid, so this can be eliminated. And see here, this one, this is not valid but this is valid, so one of those two is not valid, so we can eliminate that. Obviously upon elimination you could get this answer directly. So that's what I am saying. You need not check each and every part in this. So try to simplify this problem to save your time, isn't it? So after checking, after eliminating those things, even if you have got some doubt, just try to check with this. Check with the other lines here. Okay. So you need not worry that if you are sure with this elimination, so first identification is important. So how the signs could be, the mirror image of those. If you could eliminate them, the other answers, obviously our answer is this thing, because checking each and everything will take more time, isn't it? So for that matter, please save time by sometimes eliminating this. Try to make the problems as simple as possible. Let us move ahead with another one. Let us see this. So again, another problem. It is another type of one of the type in this coding and decoding. Okay, so we could see dear. If dear is coded as 1234. If dear is, let me write it clearly. If deer is coded as 1, 2, 3, 4, head is coded as 2, 3, 4, 5, deer is coded as 1, 3, 4, 6, help is coded as 4, 7, 5, 8. Okay, so only through this here itself we cannot, it will become clumsy little. So we can identify like this. From this easily you can observe. So first identify, are these words following any pattern here? Suppose if you see D, anywhere you could observe D here. So if I follow this pattern, suppose first letter represents this code of D, 1, you don't have that, means for this D it is 5. So obviously that doesn't work out here. So the other way is, basic coding and decoding problems, we follow this approach. Okay, we need to identify the repeating terms here. Okay, so what is the repeating term? Suppose D, if you see, it is repeating only once. Just initially identify the letter which is repeating the most. So in this all the things, if you see, it is obvious. It is obvious that E is repeating in all the things. The most repeating term is E. So identify which letter represent which number is also repeating along with E. Suppose 1, you can't find 1 in this 2, obviously it is not. 2, 2 we don't have in the second one. 3 we have in this, we don't have in this. Then 4 we have in all the things. So obviously E is related to 4, means E tends to E can be decoded as 4. E can be decoded as 4. Similarly, next try to observe any other letter which you have repeating the most like this. E is repeated 4 times. No other term is repeated 4 times here. Okay. So try to see. Suppose if see next letter is A, even it is obvious from this that A is repeating thrice here. We may not repeated in this. So in this 3 it is following. It is being repeated. Identify a number which is being repeated on all the 3 here. So suppose 1, you don't find 1 here. Then 2, you don't have 2 here. Then 3. So we could find 3 in this, 3 in this, 3 in this. So obviously A could be decoded as 3. So next, similarly, identify the other letter also. So D is repeated twice, even R is repeated twice. Means from this, identify, you can easily identify for D and D here. Okay, 2 times repeated, and in these two words, if you see, What is the repeating term? 2. So D will be decoded as 2. So obviously remaining letter is R here. R can be coded as 1. R can be coded as 1. Okay. So just check. So whether we could solve in this. So if R is 1, this is 1 R. So what is T here? T tends to 6. So most of the letters you got. Now for there we need to decode this. We need to decode these letters and code this there into these numbers. So what is the appropriate code for there? So we have found for T 6. Okay, so where could you find 6 in this among these? So obviously we can eliminate directly these two. Only possibilities are C and D. Just check other letters. Okay, so H we haven't found it. Then for E is 4. 4, where can you find this 4? We don't find 4 in this. So obviously our answer is C. Our answer is C. So likewise, if you decode, means as fast as you can, you need to decode this words to letters, words to numbers. Then if you identify each letter, what does it represent, the number, you can easily solve our problem, and we need not identify each and everything. So like this, we can eliminate few things and finally reach our answer also, isn't it? So let us move ahead with our next question. Yet again, at another analogy question. So you can easily now. So now you know the pattern here. Need not read these things. So the best alternative for best option you need to choose among these which falls under, which relates as this initial pair. Like appraiser is for building, critic is for. If you see appraiser, you know, so the basic meaning of appraiser, you know, building. Suppose whenever you need to evaluate the value of, building costs and all those things, we need the help of appraiser. Appraiser's job is to evaluate building. So appraiser's job is to evaluate the, means appraiser evaluates the building. Similarly, what does critic do? Masterpiece which is already named as masterpiece, which is already judged as masterpiece. Judge is not the option. Masterpiece is not the option. We can eliminate. Judge is not the option because it falls under this class. Appraiser, critic, judge belongs to that class. So it is also not valid. So who tests this gold? Again, gold is also not a suitable answer here. A critic judges evaluates the book. Our answer is book. So our answer is book. And we need not do all these things. Suppose most of you, I hope, have got the idea. So critics, you might have heard more recent times. You might be hearing this term critics for movie critics. Okay. So but basic thing critic usually it used to happen for not happen. It is like it happens also always, like critique is always for book, means a critic evaluates the book. He comprehends whatever the gist of the book that person will give you based on that critic opinion. People used to purchase those books earlier. Okay, which has formed the similar way for movies also these days. Okay, so let us move ahead with our answer is obvious, that book. So we will move ahead with another question. So let us move into another question here. So you could see it is evident, it is obvious from this question after immediately seeing that it is also related to a calendar problem. And we need to be careful with calendar problems because one day here and there, so we'll just smash your answer. Whatever, if you change one day here and there, your option is available here, so you can easily go with that option. So please be careful with calculating this days. Okay, so let us see. Rishabh was born on 4th October 1999. Here is also everything is important here. Uh, Rishabh is on 4th October. Dilip was born 6 days before Rishabh. Just immediately seeing this, Dilip was born 6 days before Rishabh. First, any problem, any question given in reasoning, first read out the problem. Dilip was born 6 days before Rishabh. The Independence Day of that year fell on Sunday. So here he is giving some hint here. So which day was Dilip was born? So we need to identify the day on which Dilip was born. For that he has given valid information. Two informations he has given here. Two points here, important points, that Rishabh was born on 4th October. And this could be, if you observe, 1999 could be some superfluous data. We don't require much this 1999 here, because the other information is also given here. Independence Day is given. If at all this point is not given, so probably we need to worry about 1999. Because this extra point is given, so let us move ahead. Let us solve it very quickly here. So what could be the 6 days before of this 4th October? So definitely falling in September. So September has 30 days. We all know that September has 30 days because October has 31. So September has 30 days. So what could be the 6 days before of this 4th October? If you calculate in mind, that it is obvious that 29th September is 29th September is Dilip's birthday. We need to identify what day is it. So the further another information is given that Independence Day, that is 15th August, is Sunday. It is given. So what is the easy approach? Immediately what must be striking in your mind? So immediately you need to think of how many days is the difference between these two. And because if at all you know this 4th October, the day of 4th October, it is much easier. It is not given. The day is given with respect to 15th August. The only thing is, first with respect to this we identify 29th September, and with respect to this date we need to identify what are the number of days between them. So based on that we can easily identify what is the day. Okay, so let us see this. Let us see this. So 29th September, 15th August. So identify the number of days between these two. So August has 31 days. So how many days in August after 15th August? You have got 16 days till 31st August. Means what are the remaining days in this August? 16 days. And what are the number of days till this September 29th? That is, in September, in August you are left with 16 days. In September you are left with, you have 29 days. Means after 15th August, how many days we have got? So we have got 29 plus 46 is 40, 29 plus 16 is 45. So total 45 days we are getting after this Independence Day. Means after 45 days of this 15th August is the birthday of Dilip. So that is how another way we can put. Now 45 days. So how can you identify the day here? Based on the number of weeks. Suppose 45. If you want to check how many weeks it has taken, 6 weeks and 6 weeks plus 6 weeks is 42. 42 days are gone in the weeks, number of weeks. Remaining are 3 days. Means after 6 weeks, 3 days. Means after 6 weeks means whatever the day you get, Sunday. Okay, so you will be after Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. I mean, after 6 weeks, the week will be repeated, isn't it? The week will be repeated. So we need to identify the day here. So after Sunday, 3 days. So after Sunday, what is the third day? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So after Sunday, the third day is Wednesday. So our answer is Wednesday. Our answer is Wednesday. So because the week will be the same day will be repeated after number of weeks. After every week, the week again starts with that, and we have calculated from Sunday. Okay, so after Sunday we have got 3 days more. So obviously, after Sunday 3 days is Wednesday. So our answer is Wednesday. So probably for explanation, uh, it took some time, but if you calculate in your mind, and the key point here is identifying this 29 September. If you miscalculate any one among this, so the ratios and the answer may be appearing here, isn't it? So you may be suppose if you are putting it as 28th September, answer may go with Tuesday. That option is available here. You may put Tuesday as answer. That is not the thing. For that, you need to be sure about the dates. Okay, so how do you calculate initially? That will lead to definite answer. So let us move ahead with another one. So let's see this. And please do follow our videos. We have updated the reasoning topics and also aptitude topics. You could observe in various sections in our playlist of our channel. You could see those. And next one, see here. It is obvious from this question. It related to blood relation topic of our reasoning. Okay. So let us see. We have, if you could see my videos related to this blood relation, you can easily identify this. What is the pattern we followed? I mean, what could be the procedure and different types of blood relations we had seen, and so how to solve those different types of problems we had seen. Let us see. Um, so this could be immediately after seeing this, Ritesh and Rishi and Ritesh are brothers. So this could be pattern immediately after seeing this. I can say that this is a type 2 problem. So for different types, try to check our videos. So we have explained this type 2 related problems. So how to solve this type 2 related problems? We need to draw the family tree. So most of the times family tree will help you, relationship tree will help you immediately after reading this question. So first thing you need to do is please read the question fastly, so that immediately while reading you will get some idea how to go ahead. So just read out. Rishi and Ritesh are brothers. Pranav is Ritesh's father. Sheetal is Pranav's sister. Prerna is Pranav's niece. Sanju is Sheetal's granddaughter. How is Rishi related to? How is Rishi related to Shobha? So probably there is some error here. Let us keep it simple. Let us put this as, this is not Shobha actually. There is an error here. How is, let me put it like this. So you can put any name. I can put Sheetal also, but let me write it as Sanju. Okay. So how is Rishi related to Sanju? So we need to identify the relation between Rishi and Sanju. Isn't it? So based on after reading this, you can comprehend that immediately straight away drawing this family tree will solve this problem easily. Okay, let us go ahead with drawing this family tree or relationship tree. Rishi and Ritesh are brothers. So let me write like this. Rishi and Ritesh are brothers. So obviously both are males here. Okay, by the name itself also you can identify. So let me write like this. Rishi and Ritesh. Then Pranav is Ritesh's father. Pranav is Ritesh is here. So Pranav is Ritesh. Let me put like this. Pranav. PRV. Let me write like this. PRV. Pranav. So obviously male because Ritesh father. Then Sheetal is Pranav's sister. So Sheetal is Pranav's sister. So somewhere you can put anywhere here. Let me put like this. Sheetal is, let me write like this. Sheetal is Pranav's sister, female. Then Prerna is Pranav's niece. Prerna is Pranav's niece. Implies Pranav's niece in the sense she must be, Prerna must be the daughter of Sheetal. Prerna must be the daughter of Prerna must be the daughter of Sheetal. Then what is given? Sanju is Sheetal's granddaughter. Sanju is Sheetal's granddaughter in the sense Sheetal has got daughter Prerna. Now obviously granddaughter, Sanju is granddaughter of Sheetal implies Sanju is, I'll just keep it as S. Sanju is granddaughter of, obviously the minus symbol for female, so granddaughter of Sheetal. So isn't it so? The relation. Yeah, we have identified the relationship tree appropriately. Now, so this is it. Till this we can draw this relationship tree. Now identify from this relationship tree how this Rishi is related to Sanju. Okay. So where is Rishi? So Rishi is here, Sanju is here. Okay. So who is Sanju here? How this mother of Sanju is related to Rishi? Rishi's cousin is Prerna and cousin's daughter is this Sanju. So how is this Rishi related? In fact, Rishi is related to Sanju through her mother. He could be her maternal uncle. We can write like that also, but the option is given as uncle. So simple uncle is our answer, isn't it? So cousins, son or daughter are your niece or nephew. Okay, son is nephew, niece is daughter is, cousin's daughter is what you call niece. Okay, so Ritesh here, not Rishi. Rishi is Sanju's uncle is our answer. Okay, so this is you can easily observe that immediately after seeing this, if you go ahead with the appropriate accurate relationship tree, finding answer is very simple. Okay, let us move ahead with our further questions. Next, yeah, so it is obvious from this question that it is another question from our directions topic. Okay, you can find the videos related to this. Yeah, so let us see. So what is asked? As I already told you, in this direction problem, two things are asked basically. That is the distance at which between the final point and starting point, or any other point will be given. So that is some kind of problem. Varieties of problems you can see, but basic methods basic models I am talking of. One is finding the distance, another one is finding the direction. In earlier problem we solved in this set of reasoning problems, we could see that we need to identify the distance, but in this we could see which direction is she facing now. So direction is asked in this. Let us read out the problem first. Shruti is standing facing north. Okay, let us identify these directions initially, the basic directions: north, west, east. Basic directions we have identified. Then she walks 10 kilometers straight facing north. Facing north, she is walking 10 kilometers straight. Okay, so in these problems, always one thing is means to save time is just initially identify what is asked, whether the distance is asked or whether the direction is asked. Okay, so if you could see, if the direction is asked, sometimes you can ignore these distances. You need not put those all the numbers and all those things to identify the or drawing them proportionately. You don't require that actually. So just go with the flow. I mean, just identify the path, just identify the direction the path is flowing, and final direction what it indicates or what is the in question it is asked exactly, you need to identify that direction. Let us see. Let us see, Shruti is standing facing north. She walks 10 kilometers straight, turn left and walks another 10 kilometers and turn right and walks 5 kilometers and finally turns left and walks 15 kilometers to reach a park. So there is no just right and left turnings are there. There is no there is nothing mentioned that we could identify some angular movement or she is crossing diagonally. That diagonals are not given here. Sometimes in some models you could identify the diagonals also. It is a clear cut, all the straight paths are given, so it is easy to solve. You need not put the numbers also here. Let us see if it solves our answer, solves our problem here. So what is given here? Shruti is standing facing north. So facing north, she walks. Facing north, she walks straight 10 kilometers. So towards north, she is traveling 10 kilometers. Then turns left. So let us solve initially with numbers. 10 uh, turns left and walks another 10 kilometers. This is also 10 kilometers. She turned, moved towards north and straight towards north 10 kilometers, then turned left 10 kilometers and turn right and walks 5 kilometers. So what she is doing now? Now what she is doing? After moving 10 kilometers, she turned right and walked till 5 kilometers. Walked for 5 kilometers and finally turns left. After moving in this direction, she is turning left direction. So left, she is moving for 15 kilometers now. 15 kilometers to reach a park. So she has reached now a park here. So these are anyway redundant data. We need not worry about the such things, park or whatever, wherever she goes. Which direction is she facing now? Okay, which direction she is facing now? So we have got basic chart here. So according to this map, these directions we are drawing this. So in which direction she is facing now? She is moving. She has moved till this point park, and she is facing in this direction, which is west. Our answer is west, which is obvious. And just try to observe here. It is obvious from the figure that we need not, even if we don't mention these numbers also, we can easily trace out the directions. Okay, we need not worry about the numbers here, which could save few seconds here if you could judge this based on this whatever asked here. So let us move ahead with another one. I hope you find it easy. Let us see this. So another seemingly easy problem. Obvious that it is an easier one. Just whatever the information given, just put, you get this answer. Like if 5 and 8, 3 and 9, 2 and 6, 1 and 4 exchange their values, what is the value of this thing? Okay, it is a straight question probably. See here, just put for 3, how it is exchanging, just check. 3 is exchanging with 9 value, 6 is being exchanged with 2, 5 is exchanged with, let's check, 8, 4 is exchanging with 1, 1 is with 4, 9 is with 3. There is no twist in this problem basically. It is straight question. Straight away we can answer. So what is the answer here? Option A. Option A is our answer. So probably, so seldom we see this, but we could get such simple problems also sometimes. So let us move ahead. Let us see this. In the following, again analogy problem, we have been seeing this analogy. So how these two are related, we need to identify based on the same relation the appropriate pair, the appropriate number which may be a perfect pair which is following the same relation as the first one does. So what could be that? You could see, as I have been telling you, that there must be some pattern. Based on the pattern you could observe whether the mathematical operation should be plus, minus, or I mean addition, subtraction, or some exponents, multiplication or some exponents you need to do. So it is obvious that 8 is related to 81. 80 is related to 81. So obviously there is a huge change in this, so it could be somewhere somehow exponentially related. Try to identify. So immediately after seeing this, one thing everyone will get in mind is, so that 8 plus 1 whole square is 81. Okay, so one digit in this, one digit in this. Okay, so let us see. We don't know that the other side, so 8 plus 1, so 64 plus 1, 64 plus 1 square. And here you can easily observe, from based on these options, you can easily observe that we cannot make any squares of, even these numbers are not so huge that we can make a squares of 64. We have to find the other way. So we cannot straight away square this anything 64, something deducted from 64, something added to 64. We cannot make this. This approach will not work out here. Okay. So what could be the other approach we can see here? So just identify the pattern of these two now. If this pattern is not working out, try to identify this pattern. Suppose, can you write this 8 as some square? No, only 2 cube we can write it as. So 64 also can be written as, 64 can be written as 4 cube. So it is following certain pattern here. Okay. Suppose, so 2 cube we have written now. How is 81 in written means in exponential form? Can it be written in any cube form? No. We can write 9 into 9 is 3 square into 3 square, so 3 power 4. We can write it as 3 power 4. So try to observe this pattern. 2 is changed to 3, 3 is changed to, means 1 increase in, you can observe here. So some pattern here you can observe. Suppose this is 2 is x, this is y. So x plus 1 for y plus 1. So this is the pattern it is following. Similarly, so this could be following that pattern, means this could be following that pattern. If you get answer one of the options here, our approach is right. So let us check. So 5 plus 1 is, 4 plus 1 is 5, 3 plus 1 is 4. So 5 power 4. What is 5 power 4? Let us keep it simple. 5 power 4 is 5 square into 5 square, that is 25 into 25, so 625. Okay, you have got one option. Obviously this must be our answer. This must be our answer, isn't it? So likewise, you need to be very careful. Identify the difference in the number. So if it is difference is more, try to go with always the exponential things. So how do you apply that exponential things? Again, you need to check with the other things also. Okay. So it all depends on the practice again. Okay. So let us go move ahead with another question now. See, so immediately you think of this calendar problem. You need not worry about that. First, always go ahead with reading the problem, then think whether it is difficult or not. Okay, let us see this. Find out the false date of birth given in the series. So it is easy to find, but it takes means identifying the false date. You need to check all the options, and it takes some time. So you are worried about time. Now, year wise, if you see, is there any problem in the year? So no problem with the year. Is there any problem with the months? That is, we have only 12 months. Is it going beyond that months? No, nowhere it is going beyond. So even dates are also falling within 31 only. Means some months have 31, so it is also not falling. But now identify month to this relation. 15th February okay, 16th March okay, 18th this one okay, 31st February. So we cannot find 31st February, so this is our option. So where it is given, 5 is our answer. Okay, so these so simple problems also, simple questions are also available. You can expect them, but don't we cannot rely on them. So, but only thing we can do in this is, as fast as quickly you need to solve these problems to save time for other questions. So this is our last problem, I mean, the last question for this session. Let us see how many of you could uh, solve this as quickly as possible, because we have got enough practice till now. I mean, not related to this particular topic, but reasoning questions we have been solving, and a similar syllogism problem we have solved initial of this practice set. Okay, so let us see how to solve this. Okay, so you can pause it, or you can have some time and try to solve it. You can do on your own, so which will um, make that how where exactly you stand, I mean how much practice you have. Try to observe that. Let me read this question first. So first thing is, you need to read out and make necessary preparation for this solving. Let us see. Two statements are given, followed by three conclusions. We are not worried about the numbers, assuming the statements to be true. So these things we don't know syllogism. We know basic statements are given. I mean basic these what you call instructions are given. We straight away jump into this problem. So what are the statements? What are the conclusions? Which one follow this? Which conclusions follow this given statements is our requirement. We don't. We know that, and you need to read all these things here. So let's go with this. Some cats are dogs. So you know, based on basic preparation or a basic idea about these topics, you can identify these basic problems, basic models in our videos also. Try to check those videos. Let us go ahead with this. Some cats or dogs can be represented by this: cats, dogs, isn't it? Then all dogs are deers. So these deers, these dogs, deers, dogs. Let me deers and dogs. So let me put like this: do represents dogs. So all dogs are deers. So obviously this must be subset of dogs, must be subset of deers. D is deers. Okay, so we can draw appropriately like this. This could be the inference from the given statements, isn't it? So from this, what could be the conclusions that might follow, or which could definitely follow? Okay, so which could definitely follow this inference. So let us see. Some deers are cats. Is it so? Is it possible from this picture? So we can easily say that some deers are cats. Then all deers are cats. It is not possible. All deers are cats is not possible from this inference. No deer is dog. No deer is dog, which is also not valid here. Okay. So what it follows here? Only conclusion 1. So it is obvious that our answer is only conclusion 1 follows. See, so this is the practice set. So you can check this again. So based on this, we are identifying whether these conclusions are following these statements or not. Our key point is to draw this first inference from these given statements. Okay, so try to and we tried our best to give you the practice set which holds, I mean, all the topics, which could cover all the topics of this reasoning. I hope you enjoyed this. We'll keep on sharing this such model papers further, and also parallelly we will be updating you the videos of various topics, reasoning topics. So we have been making these videos, and you could find some topics already uploaded. Try to learn from those and try to apply those techniques or shortcuts or what tips or whatever the methods we follow. So hope you will definitely enjoy those topics. So hope you enjoyed this session also. Hope this practice will uplift some confidence in you. Let us work out further topics also. Let us work out further uh, in further sessions also like this. Please keep on staying with us. I mean, you will be having more and more practice like this. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being with us. Thanks for sharing your comments. Thanks for sharing your answers. So we'll work out. Hopefully, let us work together to grow together. Thank you. Thank you very much. This is the end of the session. Thank you so much, guys.